Today, we're going to go on a little journey, a creator's journey. We are going to break down piece by piece how an idea, just a tiny spark, can absolutely explode into a viral animation. We'll follow it from that first moment of inspiration all the way to its huge cultural impact. I mean, have you ever really thought about it? How does a folk song from 2015 suddenly take over the entire animation world? We're going to use a perfect case study that you've probably seen a million times in your feed, the Soldier Poet King meme. It all started with this one song that somehow became a massive, global trend. How? Well, that's exactly what we're about to figure out. So, every viral trend has to start somewhere. And for this one, it all kicks off with a song. Let's dig into how a single piece of music can plant the seed for what becomes, well, a creative wildfire. What's really wild is that this was such a slow burn. The Oh Hellos released this song way back in October 2015. And for 3 years, it was just a great song, you know? Then in December 2018, an animator named Gothfrog posts this short video and in doing so creates the whole format. And from 2020 on, it just blew up. We're talking hundreds, then thousands of animators making their own versions. Okay, so why this song? The magic is right there in the lyrics. Each verse gives you this powerful, mythic character, the soldier, the poet, the king. It's basically a pre-built narrative. It hands animators this perfect framework to cast their own favorite characters into these roles. It's why you see everyone from anime heroes to video game villains slotted into this meme. And this is where our brains kind of get hacked. The song becomes what we call an earworm. And you have to understand, platforms like TikTok and Instagram, they are basically earworm factories. The short looping video format means you hear that catchiest part of the song over and over and over until you literally can't get it out of your head. You know, it's not just luck, there's a real psychological recipe at play here. First, you've got that relentless repetition across thousands of videos. Then you have emotional hooks that wire the music to a certain feeling. You add in a dose of social proof. I mean, when you see your favorite creators using a sound, your brain just flags it as important. And finally, you get the good part effect. Reels and TikToks just jump straight to the best part of the song, making that hook stick almost instantly. So, we've got the perfect audio spark. Now let's look at how that spark builds into a full-blown meme that practically begs people to join in on the fun. And here is the absolute key idea. An original animation meme isn't just a video somebody made. It's an invitation. The whole point is that the creator designs a sequence of movements specifically so that other people can easily copy it and adapt it with their own characters. Success isn't just about views on your video, it's about how many people remix it, which of course drives all that traffic right back to you. This whole idea perfectly illustrates a concept from some researchers at Georgia Tech called opening the black box. Think about it like this. On the left, you see a video editor where the process is totally transparent. You can hit a remix button and see exactly how it was made. You can look under the hood. But on the right, you see a finished animation. It's a black box. You only see the final product, not how it was made. Remix culture just absolutely thrives when new creators can see how the magic trick is done. Okay, so you have your idea, you know the format, and then you run smack into the biggest, most intimidating hurdle for any creator who wants to use music. Copyright. Let's get into it. All right, here's some real-world practical advice from an animator who's been through it. It's always a bit of a calculated risk, but you can be smart about it. Step 1, just search YouTube. Have a bunch of other people already use the song? That's a really good sign. Next, and this is the pro move, upload your own private test video with the song. This lets you see what YouTube's copyright system says about that specific track before you sink weeks into animating. And of course, always credit the artist. So what's going to happen after you do that test? Well, most of the time, you're going to see the result on the left. YouTube's Content ID system will spot the song and basically say, hey, you can publish this, but you can't make any money from it. All the ad revenue goes to whoever owns the music. For most animators, that's the trade-off. In some rare cases, the rights holder will block the song completely. And that's exactly why that private test video is so important. We've cleared the legal stuff. Awesome. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty and talk about how to make sure your animation looks amazing on every single platform. Let's talk frame rate, or FPS. All this is really is how many pictures flash in front of your eyes every second. 24 frames per second, that gives you that classic movie theater cinematic vibe. But if you crank it up to 60, you get that super smooth, almost liquid-like motion you see in a lot of video games. So, which one should you actually use? Well, it really depends on the platform. As you can see, YouTube is pretty chill about it. It keeps whatever frame rate you upload. But Facebook and Instagram, they can be a little picky. For a normal video on your Facebook feed, 30 FPS is usually your best bet. But the big one to really watch out for is Instagram. And here it is, the crucial takeaway. For Instagram Reels, 30 frames per second is your magic number. See, Instagram automatically converts all Reels to 30 FPS anyway. So if you upload it something different, like 24, the app has to artificially add frames, and that can make your beautiful animation look a little jerky. So for the smoothest result, 30 FPS is the safe way to go. All right, we've made it to the final stage of our journey. You've created the perfect piece of content, at least technically. But now we have to ask the biggest question of all. Why would anyone even share it? Well, it all comes down to psychology. On a purely chemical level, it's all about rewards. When something makes you laugh, your brain can release a little bit of dopamine. That's the same chemical that's tied to pleasure. That little positive jolt makes the content stick in your memory, and it gives you a tiny push to share it so other people can feel good too. But it's so much deeper than just a quick laugh. Memes are about belonging. When you see a meme that just perfectly nails an inside joke from a show you love, it reinforces your identity as a fan. Sharing it is like sending up a signal flare that says, hey, you're part of my tribe. We get this. It's an incredibly powerful way to bond with people. And, this isn't just a hunch. We can actually quantify it. A 2024 study from the University of Oslo found 4 key ingredients for a successful meme. It has to be funny, it has to be easy for other people to copy and make their own version, and there has to be a shared understanding behind it. The Soldier Poet King meme, it checks every single one of those boxes. And really, this quote gets right to the heart of it. Memes have become this essential form of modern self-expression. They give millions of us a simple, easy-to-use framework to be creative, to share our point of view, and to connect with each other in a language that pretty much everyone online now understands. And that brings us to the end of the journey. But it doesn't really end when you hit upload. It ends the moment your creation makes a genuine connection with another person. This right here is what it's all about. When we make our creative process open, when we let other people look under the hood, we're not just making a single piece of art. We're lowering the barrier to entry for the next person and fueling this cycle of creativity that just gets bigger and bigger. That kind of transparency is what turns a single creator's journey into a whole community's journey. So we've walked through the entire process, from that first musical spark and the psychology of sharing, all the way down to the technical details and the copyright realities. The blueprints is right here, so the only question left is, what will you create?